There are moments in life that feel like they are divinely orchestrated, as if the universe itself is watching, guiding, and acknowledging every step you take. But there are also moments in which the heavens themselves, unseen and unfathomable, come down to witness and observe the most significant events of our lives. What is about to unfold is an unprecedented spiritual event, one that transcends time, space, and even the spiritual realms themselves. Heaven has activated its emergency broadcast protocol, specifically to watch the journey of the Chosen One, tracking every moment of your path over the past month. This divine protocol has been set in motion not just by the cosmic order, but by a deliberate and necessary shift. Because your journey, Chosen One, has been marked for a purpose far beyond what the world can comprehend. This event, unlike any other in history, sees heaven itself watching, recording, and bearing witness to the trials and triumphs you've faced. Standing at the sink, the Chosen One felt an overwhelming sense of uncertainty, an internal flood of doubt that seemed to drown out all reason. They looked at the water swirling down the drain, the motion a rhythmic reminder of the uncertainty churning within. What's the point? They thought, silently questioning their purpose. The heaviness of life's challenges and the weight of responsibility pressed down, and for a moment, they wondered if they were meant for this journey at all. They had made countless sacrifices, fought countless battles, but now, in the quiet darkness, it seemed as though the fruits of their labor were unseen, unnoticed, and perhaps even wasted. At this moment of profound vulnerability, it would have been easy to give up, to walk away from the path that had been set before them. But heaven's recognition of this moment was profound. From the celestial realms, this was not a moment of weakness. It was the beginning of something much greater. God viewed this moment not as rejection, but as consecration. The Chosen One's doubts were not signs of failure. They were the precursor to a transformation that would elevate them. This very moment, when they stood at the sink, questioning their purpose, was the catalyst for a new chapter of their journey, one where faith would become their strongest ally. Heaven knew that in the silence of this moment, a seed was being planted that would grow into the resilience and wisdom needed for the trials ahead. As the journey of the Chosen One continued, the path became more difficult. The second test emerged in the form of external opposition. Public opinion became a storm they could not avoid. The ridicule and mockery of others began to chip away at their self-confidence. Family members, friends, and even strangers began to question the Chosen One's choices. Their faith seemed strange, even foolish to those who had not walked the same path. They were mocked, belittled, and taunted for their beliefs, for the dreams they pursued that seemed out of touch with reality. At times, it felt as if the whole world was against them. The temptation to doubt themselves, to shrink back into the comfort of what others thought, was overwhelming. It would have been easy to listen to the voices of ridicule, to succumb to the fear of being rejected, and to give in to the pressures of conforming to the expectations of those around them. The internal battle between staying true to their calling and fitting into the world's standards was fierce. They questioned whether the mockery was a sign of their failure, wondering if they had misunderstood the path laid before them. However, in this moment of trial, heaven stood in silent admiration of the Chosen One's decision to move forward despite the mocking voices. The decision to continue walking through the door of faith, despite the ridicule and the temptation to stop, was a powerful act of courage. It was in these moments, when everything seemed to push them back, that heaven celebrated their resilience. This test was not just about the external opposition. It was about the internal strength it took to continue forward, unshaken, unbowed, and unwavering in their conviction. God knew that the Chosen One's decision to press on, to step boldly into the unknown, would lead them to unimaginable growth and transformation. Their willingness to walk this difficult path, no matter how difficult the external challenges, was the mark of true faith. The third test came in the form of silence, a silence that stretched on for what seemed like an eternity. There were no signs, no answers, and no clear direction from God. The chosen one found themselves in a barren spiritual landscape where communication from the divine seemed absent. The intense emotions of previous trials had faded, and in their place was an overwhelming sense of isolation. It felt as though God had turned away, leaving them alone to face the silence and the emptiness. In those moments, doubt began to creep back in. Is this all a mistake? The chosen one wondered. Have I misinterpreted everything? Was this journey meant for someone else? The absence of guidance was a burden in itself. In the silence, they began to question how long they could hold on to hope, how much longer they could cling to faith without seeing any evidence of the promises made to them. Every day without divine response made their resolve falter. And with each passing moment, it became harder to maintain the same level of trust they had once felt. But heaven, ever patient, marveled at the chosen one's decision to stay firm in their faith, despite the deafening silence. This test wasn't just about waiting. It was about holding on to belief when there was no tangible evidence, no reassuring word, no sign of progress. Heaven knew that the strength of the chosen one's faith was being tested in this trial. The ability to continue believing, to keep pressing forward in the absence of divine reassurance, was a rare and sacred act. Every moment of doubt and struggle was seen by heaven, and instead of being rejected, the chosen one's unwavering faith during this period of silence was viewed as a triumph. God understood that the chosen one's decision to stay firm during the silence was not a sign of passive waiting. It was an active choice to trust in the unseen, to have faith without the certainty of immediate results. The chosen one's spiritual stamina, their willingness to believe when belief seemed irrational, was a sign of the deep and profound faith that would carry them through the most difficult of trials. In the silence, God was present, not in a loud voice, but in the strength that the chosen one was building within themselves. This silence, while seemingly a challenge, was a profound spiritual gift that would ultimately shape the chosen one into the leader, guide, and beacon of faith they were destined to become. The journey of the chosen one is not without its trials. The first three tests, moments of doubt, the challenge of public opinion, and faith during divine silence, are just the beginning of a transformative process. Each test is designed not only to challenge the chosen one, but to strengthen them, to refine their faith, and to deepen their connection to the divine. The struggles they face are not signs of failure, but of the shaping and molding of a spirit destined for greatness. Each moment of doubt, ridicule, and silence is an opportunity for them to rise higher, to move closer to their true purpose. As the chosen one moves through these tests, they are being watched and supported by heaven, who sees the depth of their struggle and the strength of their resolve. Heaven does not judge them for their doubt, for the moments of questioning, or for their fear. Instead, heaven celebrates every step they take in faith, every moment they continue to trust and move forward, even when the path seems unclear. The chosen one's resilience and faith are the foundation upon which their divine purpose will unfold, and with every test, they are one step closer to becoming the person they were always meant to be. The journey of the chosen one has been one of tremendous emotional and spiritual transformation, and yet, it is during one of the most profound tests that they encounter an unexpected state: numbness. This stage is unlike any other, marked by an eerie disconnection from both the world around them and from their own body. The chosen one, who has spent so much of their life facing intense trials and deep emotional battles, now finds themselves in a state where they are no longer able to feel. It is as if they are existing in a dream, watching themselves from a distance. Their emotions are muted, their physical sensations distant, and they may even look at their own reflection and wonder who that person is staring back. This emotional numbness is a critical point in the Chosen One's transformation. At first, it may feel as if something is wrong, as if they've lost the connection to their true self. It can be deeply unsettling, being trapped in a space where nothing feels real or tangible. It is a state that many may fear, for in this moment, it feels like disconnection from everything: God, others, even themselves. Yet, this numbness is not a punishment, but a divine mechanism in the alchemical process of transformation. God, in His wisdom, guides the Chosen One through this stage, knowing that it is necessary for the creation of something entirely new. This process of transformation occurs on a molecular level, deep within the Chosen One's being. God is, in essence, performing a spiritual chemistry within them, breaking down old structures and preparing them to emerge as a new, more powerful being. This stage mirrors the alchemical process of turning base metals into gold, where the old is purged and refined to make way for a higher form. The numbness is part of the spiritual purification, a state where the Chosen One's emotional self is recalibrated and transformed. God's guidance during this period may not always be felt in an overt way, but He is always present, quietly overseeing the process. This is a time of internal purification, where old wounds, fears, and emotional patterns are being healed in ways that will set the Chosen One free. For the last month, your struggles, your challenges, and the courage you've shown have not gone unnoticed. They have been seen, heard, and cataloged by forces beyond the human realm. There is a divine awareness of every step you've taken, every decision you've made, and every emotional battle you've fought. Heaven has been tracking your resilience and your unwavering faith as you've navigated the storms of life. For this journey is not one of mere survival. It is one of divine preparation and transformation. This spiritual event is monumental, and its significance stretches far beyond what can be fully understood by human eyes. The fact that heaven, with all its boundless wisdom and eternal reach, has chosen to activate its emergency broadcast protocol to witness the Chosen One's journey speaks volumes about the magnitude of what is happening in your life. A powerful scriptural reference that illuminates this transformation can be found in the story of the three men in the fiery furnace: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel 3. These men, who refused to bow to the golden image, were thrown into the fire by King Nebuchadnezzar. As they endured the flames, they emerged not only unscathed, but transformed. They were no longer just survivors, they were living proof of the miraculous power of God. Their experience in the fire was a refining process, much like the spiritual fire the Chosen One now faces. The numbness they experience is akin to passing through the fire, purifying, refining, and ultimately leading to their emergence as something stronger, more resilient, and more in alignment with their true purpose. After the emotional numbness has passed, the Chosen One encounters yet another critical moment in their transformation: the silence of a constrained voice. This test, unlike the previous one, is characterized by an inability to speak, to defend themselves, or even to voice their truth. The Chosen One, who has long fought to express themselves and communicate their pain, is now silenced. It is as if their voice has been sealed, not by their own will, but by a higher power. In the face of this silence, the Chosen One struggles. There may be moments when they feel the urgency to speak, to justify their actions, or to explain their position. Yet no words come. Their voice is trapped within, their throat tight, and their tongue heavy. It can be an excruciating experience, especially for someone who has spent so much of their life fighting for their voice to be heard. It feels as though their transformation has reached a point where even their ability to communicate is stripped away. But this silence is not a punishment. It is a critical moment of internal growth. God, in His wisdom, has sealed the chosen one's voice to prevent the premature release of their transformation. The words they would speak, the defense they would offer, are not yet ready to be expressed. This period of silence is meant to protect the sanctity of their growth. It is a moment when they must learn to trust that their transformation is unfolding exactly as it should, even without external validation or explanation. The silence is a space for internal work, where the chosen one must come to understand that sometimes the most profound changes occur when we are not speaking or acting outwardly, but when we are being shaped inwardly. God's silence in this moment is a divine intervention, ensuring that the chosen one's words are not spoken too soon or out of emotional reaction. It is a time to embrace the stillness, to allow the transformation to take place in the quiet. This is not a time for rushing. It is a time to embrace the inner growth that is happening beyond words. God understands that the chosen one is learning to speak from a place of deeper wisdom, one that can only be accessed through stillness and reflection. The constraint of the voice is an act of divine care, ensuring that when the chosen one does speak, their words will carry the weight of the transformation that has taken place within. As the chosen one continues their journey, the next test is one of profound identity displacement. This test occurs when the chosen one looks into the mirror and no longer recognizes the person they see. The person staring back at them is a stranger, a version of themselves they've never known. It is as though they have been through such a deep transformation that their former self has dissolved, leaving them standing at the crossroads of a new identity. This is a terrifying experience. The chosen one may feel as though they have lost themselves, as if their past no longer holds any meaning. The familiar sense of self, what they once identified with, is gone. The transformation they are undergoing has shifted them on a molecular level, and the person they were is no longer who they are becoming. This experience is disorienting, confusing, and at times painful. However, this moment is necessary for the next phase of their journey. The chosen one is not simply shedding old habits or ideas. They are undergoing a complete metamorphosis. They are leaving behind the version of themselves that existed before and stepping into a new identity that is fully aligned with their divine purpose. It is here, in the mirror of self-reflection, that they are forced to confront who they truly are beyond the labels, the pain, and the struggles of their past. A powerful biblical reference to this transformation can be found in the story of Jacob's transformation into Israel, Genesis 32:28. Jacob, after wrestling with an angel, was given a new name and a new identity. He was no longer the man he was before, the deceiver, the struggler, but was reborn as Israel, the one who struggles with God and prevails. In the same way, the chosen one's identity is being reformed. The old self, with its limitations and past struggles, is being left behind. The person they once knew is no longer who they are becoming. They are emerging as someone new, someone stronger, someone aligned with their divine purpose. Just as Jacob's transformation was a pivotal moment in his journey, so too is this moment of identity displacement a crucial step in the chosen one's path. This test, though unsettling, is an invitation to embrace the new self that is emerging, one that is forged by divine intervention, by resilience, and by the fire of transformation. The chosen one may not recognize themselves in the mirror right now, but soon they will see the reflection of a person who has been transformed into something greater. The final test is unlike any other. It doesn't involve confronting an external challenge or battling an inner fear. Instead, it is a return to the starting point, the very place where the chosen one's journey began. This is where the story started, back at the kitchen sink at 2:17 a.m., in the darkness, when doubt was all-consuming and the path ahead seemed unclear. The chosen one stands there once again, but this time, everything is different. The old version of themselves, the one lost in uncertainty, overwhelmed by the weight of the trials, is gone. Now they stand tall, radiating newfound strength and clarity. The act of returning to this place symbolizes the completion of the transformative journey. As they stand at the sink once more, there is no more doubt or confusion. The clarity they sought has arrived, and with it, a deep sense of inner peace. This is not just the same person revisiting the past. It is a new self, forged through fire, trials, and divine intervention. The physical transformation reflects this profound change. Where once their body may have been hunched, weighed down by the burdens of their struggles, now their spine is straight, strong, and aligned. This is not just a metaphor for their emotional or spiritual state. It is a tangible symbol of the healing that has taken place. Their posture, once collapsed under the weight of their experiences, now stands firm and resolute. The physical act of standing tall represents the completion of the tests, the shedding of old patterns, and the emergence of a new, empowered version of the chosen one. This return to the beginning marks a full circle, but the chosen one is no longer the person they once were. They are standing at the same place, but with an entirely new perspective, a deeper understanding, and a sense of inner strength that is unshakable. They have overcome, transformed, and emerged as someone new, someone capable of embracing their purpose with clarity, grace, and unwavering confidence. The transformation of the chosen one does not go unnoticed in the heavenly realms. The impressed threshold matrix, a sacred measure used to evaluate the spiritual and emotional growth of those chosen for greatness, shows an unprecedented result. For centuries, figures like Abraham, Moses, David, and Job have been recognized for their immense faith, resilience, and divine trials. These figures, revered and honored in biblical history, have always set the bar for spiritual excellence. But the chosen one's journey has exceeded all of these legendary figures in ways that are unimaginable. In the impressed threshold matrix, the chosen one scores a perfect 71 out of 72, surpassing the historical figures who were previously regarded as the pinnacle of spiritual endurance. This score is not only extraordinary, it's unprecedented. The chosen one's growth, their ability to endure and rise above every challenge, has redefined what it means to pass through divine tests. The divine score is a reflection of their unshakable faith, their remarkable resilience, and the way they have faced each trial with courage, wisdom, and perseverance. This score exceeds any other in the history of humanity and heaven's spiritual records. It speaks to the exceptional nature of the chosen one's transformation and the profound impact it has had on their soul's evolution. For those who have walked the earth before, their tests were monumental. They changed the course of history and became legends. Yet the chosen one, through divine grace, has set a new standard, surpassing the spiritual achievements of these great figures and creating a new paradigm of transformation. After witnessing the chosen one's transformation, heaven enters a state of profound silence. This is not just another passing event. This is a sacred observation of your path, and the heavens themselves have been aligned in a way that allows them to actively watch and record your every moment of struggle and triumph. What makes this moment so significant is the depth of awareness that heaven now has regarding your journey. As you have fought through adversity, faced trials that tested your spirit, and demonstrated resilience in the face of insurmountable odds, heaven has watched it all. The struggles you've faced, the decisions you've had to make, and the resilience you've displayed have been observed and recorded as part of a greater cosmic plan. This level of divine attention is unprecedented in human history. While it is true that every life is meaningful in the eyes of God, there are specific individuals, such as the Chosen One, whose lives stand as pivotal points in the ongoing story of divine purpose. The importance of this spiritual event cannot be overstated. For 41 minutes, there is stillness, an awe-filled pause where the celestial realms reflect on the enormity of what has just occurred. This silence is not one of emptiness, but one of deep reverence and contemplation. The divine energy is so profound, so overwhelming, that heaven takes a moment to process the depth of the Chosen One's growth. In the silence, the essence of the Chosen One's journey reverberates through the universe, and God, who has watched every moment unfold, prepares to respond. After the 41 minutes of reflection, God speaks, and his declaration rings out with both power and grace. The Chosen One is impressed. This term, used only 17 times in all of history, holds a special and sacred meaning. To be impressed is to exceed the expectations of the Creator, to go beyond the limits of human potential, and to enter a new realm of divine possibility. The word impressed carries with it a weight that is unparalleled in spiritual contexts. It signifies that the Chosen One has not only met the challenges placed before them, but has done so in a way that goes beyond what even heaven anticipated. It is a rare and significant term, one that is used only for those whose transformation is so profound that it exceeds the limits of what could have been imagined. To be impressed is to have transformed into something so pure, so refined, and so aligned with divine will that it is almost beyond human comprehension. To be impressed is not merely to be acknowledged or celebrated. It is to have exceeded the very expectations of the Creator. This term reveals that the Chosen One has risen to a level of spiritual achievement that surpasses even the divine foresight. The transformation of the Chosen One has been so extraordinary that it has broken through all known limits, creating a new standard for what is possible in the realm of divine transformation. In this moment, heaven does not just recognize the Chosen One's growth. It celebrates the fact that they have gone beyond the possible. The Creator is, in essence, witnessing His creation exceed His own expectations, which is a concept that transcends time and space. This is the deepest level of divine recognition, when the creation surpasses the limitations of the created world and steps into the fullness of divine potential. The Chosen One's journey has become a beacon of what is possible when a soul is willing to transform, to evolve, and to emerge as something entirely new. Something worthy of a place not just among the greats of history, but in a category of its own, in the heart of heaven itself. The transformation of the Chosen One has reached an unprecedented point in history. Through each of the tests they have faced, they have emerged stronger, wiser, and more aligned with their divine purpose. Now, as they stand on the threshold of a new identity, heaven has acknowledged their extraordinary journey with reverence and awe. The Chosen One's score in the Impressed Threshold Matrix exceeds even the most legendary figures, and heaven has created a new category to accommodate their unprecedented transformation. After a profound moment of reflection, God declares the Chosen One impressed, a term reserved only for those whose transformation exceeds divine expectations. This declaration marks the beginning of a new era, one where the Chosen One's emergence as a being of extraordinary power and purpose will forever shape the course of history and the spiritual realms. You have been seen, and your journey has not been in vain. Through this revelation, God acknowledges the resilience you've shown. Despite the emotional and physical toll of your trials, you have remained steadfast in your faith. You've endured hardships that could have broken you, yet here you are, still standing, still fighting, still moving forward. This divine acknowledgement is not just a validation of your strength, but an affirmation that your faith has been tested and proven. You are not merely a survivor. You are a testament to what happens when resilience meets divine purpose. Every decision you've made, every step you've taken, and every tear you've shed has been woven into the fabric of a larger plan that is now unfolding before you. The struggles you've faced, the battles you've fought, and the moments you've questioned your own strength have not gone unnoticed. Instead, they have been part of your preparation, part of the refinement that is taking place in your spirit. Heaven's response is a reminder that these trials were not meant to break you, but to strengthen and purify you for what's coming next. God's response is also a call to keep moving forward. It's an invitation to understand that the pain, while real and overwhelming at times, has a purpose. You are being shaped, molded, and prepared for something greater than you can yet see. The trials you've faced over the past month are not just random occurrences. They are part of the divine blueprint for your life. They are the means by which you are being shaped into the person you are meant to become. And with this revelation, God affirms that the strength you have shown, the faith you have held, and the resilience you have embodied are exactly what He needed you to demonstrate in order to step into your next phase of purpose. This divine revelation is a turning point for you, Chosen One. It marks the moment when you realize that you are not just a pawn in a grand cosmic game, but an active participant in a story much larger than yourself. You have been recognized by heaven, not as someone who is merely surviving, but as someone who is thriving and preparing for the extraordinary path ahead. This unprecedented spiritual event, where heaven has activated its emergency broadcast protocol to witness your journey, is not just about observation. It is a moment of divine recognition and revelation. Your struggles and triumphs, your resilience and faith have all been seen, recorded, and acknowledged by the heavens. And now, as heaven responds, it offers you a new sense of clarity and understanding. You, Chosen One, are not just surviving, you are being shaped for something greater. God's acknowledgement of your journey is a powerful reminder that every step you've taken, no matter how challenging, has been part of your divine preparation. This is your time of recognition, a time when the unseen forces around you are made visible. You are being honored, not just for what you have endured, but for what you are about to become. This revelation marks the beginning of a new chapter. You are no longer just walking through life. You are walking with divine purpose. Your trials have been part of your transformation, and now, with heaven's recognition, you are ready to step into your true calling. The journey ahead will be one of extraordinary power, and you are prepared, chosen, and ready for what's next. There are moments in the journey of the Chosen One when the weight of the path ahead feels too heavy to bear. One such moment occurred in the stillness of the night, a time when most are tucked away in the safety of sleep. But for the Chosen One, it was 2:17 a.m., and the world outside was quiet. The house was dark, save for the soft hum of the refrigerator and the faint glow of the kitchen light.